welcome everybody on YouTube, and hello, every classmates here, online or offline. Anyway, today we're going to do the Qi Baishi landscape, uh, and I've chosen two paintings to study. Both of them has to do with the sound of nature in painting. So how can we depict the sound of stream or the wind or the croaking of a frog? That's the challenge. It's called poetic painting, and these two paintings are most lyrical, poetical paintings in the Chinese art history, probably. We have a long history like that dated back to Song Dynasty. They use poetic inspiration to test candidates for the Royal Painting Academy. Probably have heard that. And one of the most challenging one is to paint the fragrance of flowers. It's the poem says, returning from a field, the the hoof of the horse smells. I mean, not yes, smelled flower or something like that. 踏花归来马蹄香。踏花 meaning stepping the flowers, on the flowers, returning with the fragrance. Okay. The winning painting is the guy who did a butterfly chasing the horse hoof after the horse. Because that's the winning, very famous. There are many other challenges like 野渡无人舟自横, there's the empty ferry boat in the harbor. What do you call this? The ferry parked, not what is called harbor. Yeah, at a harbor or without passengers. It's like a very zen kind of mood. So I think the winning artist did a heron standing on the boat or something like that. Yeah, just anyway. So today's challenge is this. And next week, since we might have a party, so we'll have a short one, which is the most famous, famous painting by Qi Baishi. He did liu liu. One first liu is the cow and willow. In Chinese, the sounds very similar. Liu liu too. The picture of a cow and a willow. He did a cow just like a. You can come closer to me. He did a cow with just 2 strokes, basically, for the hip, like that. Okay, and then it's on rice paper, so every stroke is separated, counts. So he would do just a hint of the nose, and then I think it just maybe 1 or 2 stroke for the horn. I'm not sure if it's 1. Let's just do. And the 2 legs. And then this tail, I must have waited dry. Let me just do it like this. Something like that. And this one goes, so this is make it just alive. Yeah. So that hip a little bit.
So it's the back view.
It's a back, yeah.
Okay.
And then he will use maybe a soft brush for the background. He don't even do the ground. So this is more like the waving stroke that we did with the wave, maybe something like that. So that's probably very long. could be in the front of the, and some imitations may add the ground, something like that, and maybe add grass. So I've seen maybe over 20 versions of this because the original sold for 1 million. Everybody imitated that. And this one supposed to be very easy to do, but you can tell, just from this kind of line quality that we practiced hard from last week's class. His line quality cannot be really. It's like his signature. Yeah, he would just do something like his childhood name, and he sometimes say he was a cowboy 50 years ago, something like that. It's a nostalgia painting kind of. So that's the painting we're going to study next week. So give us some more time before the party, maybe. Okay, you can see I can do it in 5 minutes. It takes 50 years.
Yeah, 50 years to get there.
To get that, yeah. Okay. So we have these two paintings. This painting is very famous to paint. We'll do this later. Maybe we'll do this first one. Both of them are not technically except for those lines. Yeah. So the composition is very simple, right? I don't have this long paper today. Maybe I do it on two pieces later. But let's do this this one. This book, by the way, is your question, right?
Right.
I only have this copy. It was published. It's a new book published in 2020 by his hometown Hunan province a publisher, a fine art publisher in Hunan. So it's still available, but it's very heavy.
Can you get it on Amazon, or do you have?
No,
I didn't
I
see
checked.
it on
I
there.
checked.
Yeah, I didn't.
It's not on Amazon. There's another one. It's called Models of Qi Baishi's flower and birds painting, not the landscape. Landscape painting is very rare in his art career. It's probably less than 10% of his painting.
Wow.
And he did 40,000 paintings, authentic paintings, but most of them online are fake.
Yeah.
40,000 is a big number, right? And so he's a very successful, very prolific artist. But his landscape painting usually used as gift for special person, like his doctor, his daughter's tutor, or something like that. And this one was not this one, but I saw one waterfall actually was given to his daughter's tutor.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Can you get this book, Henry?
Okay, good question. I'm ordering from China. It will be available maybe in 1 month.
Okay, well, I want to
Yeah,
save me one.
Yeah,
I love these.
the price will be 88. Yeah,
88,
Yeah.
yeah. Well,
yeah, because
I really
I have to
like
pay the duty and
right, you do have to
the-
pay duty, yeah,
yeah,
and the
all
weight.
the weight is like 1 pound.
Is it really heavy?
Yeah, but you can.
It's so well printed too,
yeah,
look at that.
yeah.
Yeah,
A lot of pages.
yeah, a lot of pages.
And it's nice paper.
Yeah, very good print, and all his landscape
Oh, my goodness.
paintings. Yeah.
See, I just
What's
love
the
these.
name of the painter again?
Qi Baishi.
Qi Baishi,
Qi.
QIBAISHI.
Okay.
And this is a new book. You won't find it in your local bookstores.
Okay.
Oh.
I don't think there are more than 2 versions of this, like a special collection, only exclusively on his landscape painting. Probably there's another one,
No, I love them.
but not as.
Is he still alive?
No,
No.
he lived. That's a good question. He lived. I wrote an article comparing
Yeah.
Grandma Moses.
Oh, right.
He lived in about the same time,
70
Oh, okay.
1864 to
59.
57, I think,
Oh, my
57.
goodness.
So it's about on his painting. he's dated himself like 98, but that's exaggerated. I think the actual count is 96 probably. Yeah, actually 96 or 95 at least. Yeah. So yeah, this painting, for example, is on my list. Also, maybe we do it in the future.
Yeah, that looks kind of like reminiscent of Grandma Moses. That's really
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like
Yeah.
primitive. I wouldn't call it primitive. What would you call that style?
I think
naive.
Naive, yeah.
Folk,
Yeah.
folk,
Folk, yeah.
folk.
Yes.
Yeah.
Folk. I love these. I was looking at his paintings online and I thought,
Yeah,
whoa,
Yeah, I was thinking to do one with
I love this.
yeah, we did the cameras. This
Yeah.
is the birds we learned last week. I'm going to do one with sailing boats. I actually I did the day before yesterday in a class after a master class. Georgia O'Keeffe. Georgia O'Keeffe is like a red hills.
Yes.
I added some sailing boats on the under it's like a Qi Baishi style on rice paper. Yeah, this is the one
did that, yeah.
we did that already, and I did one. I think the last painting we did was this one I did in another class online. You can find on YouTube. I think he when he saw a when he did a good one, he will ask her student to make a outlined sketch to duplicate to learn to teach. So he did this sample for his class also. I think this is probably
I love this.
this
too.
is 91. He did it on the sunset and with usually crows in the sky and on bear tree. And yeah, like this crows. Yeah, we can study that. That's your flying birds there.
Yeah.
Okay, and the houses we did. So yeah, we can concentrate on him for maybe the rest of this one. Maybe continue into the next class because he's a self-taught artist. He studied the mustard seed garden menu to start with, and as a wood carving artist, he turned himself into a painter after the age 40s, and start his career by moving to Beijing from local, the rural area to Beijing at the age of 65. So his first book was published probably in his late 60s. Yeah, his first show. And his painting, like you said, was very much like a Japanese, but he's not.
Yes. Yeah.
And this reminds me that the story that his landscape was rejected by the Orthodox school artist dominating the field. So when he was recruited to be a professor by avant-garde principal of the first Chinese modern fine arts school principal, his name is Lin Fengmian. He was trained in France. He's a modern artist. He's like a post-impressionist artist. He hired Qi Baishi. And Qi Baishi, when he came to work, all the other faculties withdraw from the scene. They reject him. But he was backed by yet another French-trained artist who is a realistic painter, Qu Beihong. He's famous horse painter. So with those persons, good taste support, he became he established himself. But his market is not in China, but in Japan.
I'm not surprised.
His first exhibition, he sold all his paintings in Japan. By his mentor and friend called Chen Shizhen, another artist in Beijing. He's a literary painter, but he liked his painting and he introduced him to Japanese market. So Japanese became his best patrons. I have a book. It's called Chinese Painting in the Collection of Japanese. It has a lot of Qi Baishi. So because maybe now they're buying back.
Ah, uh-huh. Yeah, it's very Sumier to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know, but you can look at his paintings. Although he has the start from the woodcut print.
Yes,
That
yeah.
you can see that.
You
But
can see that now
yeah,
that what
yeah,
you mentioned that you can see it, right?
yeah, but he made it so modern. Like this
Yeah.
painting, this empty space, this empty space. It's so conceptual art. Yeah.
Right.
But he's very yeah, like these bridges that we did. If you put some birds, it will be the same as the comrades painting. So yeah, we can go through this book.
That one might be fun to do.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, he has this summer pavilion with the lotus pond. That's one of his trademarks. Yeah, he has several paintings of that. So if I studied this, I will give you all the reference
Okay.
with this. I mean, it could be different formats, horizontal as well. And his
Ooh,
early
I like
work,
that one.
his early work is after Shetao and also many people. And this is more like the
Yeah.
book he
Yeah.
come from. Yeah, this is his
Wow.
early works. I think that's the early
Look at
works.
that
That looks like
haystack.
something I practiced.
Yeah,
with,
this is
that
all in the
technique.
1920s. I
Uh-huh.
think,
Yeah.
1920s.
Yeah.
This is early books. But he had an extensive travel trip. During that trip, he developed his style. And this is nice. The early work, but you can see his style is already present. Yeah, this is a more like the woodcut print
Yeah.
copy. Yeah, in that, from but his brushwork is very confident.
Yeah.
He used the technique in flower and birds painting into put them into landscape. So he lived into the late 90s. So he I have one book with his last paintings. I can show you. Very abstract, but his beginning is not like just like John Nai Chen become very expressionist in the end. Yeah. Okay.
That's a great book.
Yeah, I'd love to get a copy of that.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe it's out there somewhere.
Yeah. So I will make it available when I got the.
Okay.
Yeah, I like a copy too.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so I'm going to do this one. I took a pictures and emailed it to you.
Yeah.
And you can.
I'm gonna bring a chair.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to do this one. It's called the falling leaves, the sound of music of falling leaves on stream, something like that. So there's a metaphysical analogy by an art critic. He's thinking these dots are like the music notes on staff, on staff. Yeah. So and this stream is like a been lifted. It's totally different from a Western perspective. So I would do the dots. What we call this in the Mustard Seeds Garden manual of painting. It's the big confused dots. That's a Confucian name, right? Big confused dots, small confused. Maybe this is small confused dots. Confused dot is larger than the pepper dots or the moss tracks dots. You know, you remember those names? It's just a name. So when I start, I would start with somewhere that I don't mind if it smears confused. So maybe here is something like that. And just dot where sure marks. So each dot is music notes, and the distance stands for the rhythm, right? So when you place them in a groove of 5, you should see that you should hear that sound, the music like a symphony or drum, whatever. So in painting we talk about large, small, and medium. Large, small, and medium group, yeah, grouping.
So those are like musical notes.
Yeah, musical notes. So I'm doing this first. I don't care about the tree. I just care about the notes.
Good. And you worry about the trunks later.
I'm
Fill
thinking this is a large groove.
Uh-huh.
That's then this whole tree could be a large one, but there are small ones, small and medium in each 5 maybe. But you also have to look at the whole block.
Right.
So if you go with a sequence, and the color will change from dark to light as well. So I think he probably rewrote it after this one, but if you missed it, it's okay. If you want, you can use maybe a little bit. Okay, here. You can use a blotting paper to control the bleeding, or even take some ink away, just to in it a little bit. See the
Yeah,
ink
because
light.
they're different
Yeah,
intensities.
yeah, yeah. You can do that just by blotting. You can just blot it, so it fades a little bit. If I want to make a fake copy, like most of the painting you see online are fake copy. I wish I can make authentic, more authentic fake, because that's not illegal. He encouraged his students to make copies of his art. That's how he teach. He will ask his student to copy, and he would be pleased if he could. But at the meantime, he said to copy my work, but not to how to say. 自我者
Like reproduce?
Yeah,
Make an exact
reproduce.
copy?
Yeah, not. I mean, you live to live. You can copy, but if you reproduce, you will be dead, something like that. So yeah, you have to copy the with your own
With your own style.
style or something. It's very easy that you lose the tighten part. I see this gap is too big already, but I will try to fix. But you'll find your rhythm, immediately when this happens. So I think we can just. We tend to exaggerate it, to make it too loose. So it's kind of hard to keep it tight, I think. So we try to combine some. There are some connections, so they're not totally separated, isolated. Yeah. So that's
You
one
can see
group.
there's
Right.
no standalone ones.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
'Cause
And if they are, then
these
they're
little
connected.
pale connections.
Yeah, I think if I just keep an eye on this one, I don't really look at mine at first. Maybe I can do that. Oh, because my paper may be different than his, so I would have to adjust a little bit. I will maybe take advantage of this corner. I don't have room for this corner to keep it, so I move this down a little bit, just to see if we can. I think he would do every dot individually and let it smear into each other. So that smear You don't have to worry if you.
Yeah, that
if you
bothers me, because I feel like they should be individual.
yeah, it
'Cause-
should be individual. You can have the brush fully loaded and let it smear. So your dust
Ah.
is a little smaller than you expect. If you want to smear, you can add a little water just to encourage this the smearing. So you can just add a little light ones. And I usually add a different tone,
Right, yeah.
not the same tone, so it will keep the stroke. Okay. So let me just return to this. And don't be afraid to go outside the frame. See that?
I like how you're not really looking at the paper. You're
Yeah.
sort of more like just,
Letting
Letting your brain do it.
Yeah,
Yeah, auto.
instinctually,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
instinctually, yeah. Let your hand move.
Which brush is that?
It's a combination brush,
Okay.
rabbit hair combination brush, stiff and soft combination brush. Yeah, then it goes all the way up there. So those dots really don't have to worry too much about tonality. It's all dark because we want to create the dark music notes. So this part is kind of light, but it's great. We can. There's a small tree on that. So we also have to keep the tree in, because I didn't do the trunk. Later on, I have to combine them into trees to make it into trees. Yeah. So let me just make my own. So you learn the idea how to deal with this kind of space, negative space. Okay, now let's do the trunk. So this one, it's. I think we don't have room for that. So I have to do it from the outside. Right here, maybe. Let's do this one here. So the trunk, the branches are more in dark, in pure dark, because the river will be light. So you want to keep the in dark. Don't have to gradate this, and to keep the line solid, in the using the tip concealed stroke. Okay, just do this one here. Remember the four directions of the branch we learned, and you probably learned on that also from the mustard seeds garden manual. You know, the horn, deer horn, strokes,
crab.
Oh,
the
right,
crab.
right.
Yeah. Not the crab is the downward. This is like a deer.
Uh-huh.
There's,
It makes it look so easy.
I know.
okay, this tree should be the top of this one maybe. The, and this one keep going straight, maybe a little bit, and it will. Oh, actually, I'm not sure which one is which, and just cover it.
Sometimes it's hard to keep
Yeah.
track, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in there with branches.
Yeah,
Are you gonna put in the real pale gray ones? no?
Not right now because
Okay.
it will bleed
Later, maybe.
too much. Yeah, that could be used. I started using that, but it's maybe you can save it later. So this one goes up. This is this one. Let me see. It's going like that. It has wind in it, so the
Yeah.
wind blows
Oh,
this
okay.
way.
Because
I think,
they're kind of going.
Oh,
that
yeah.
way.
yeah,
It's
you
funny,
can,
these
heading
are
that
going
way.
this way.
yeah.
Yeah.
So the falling leaves, like it's like autumn scene.
Hmm.
So we need to consider this factor like that. So this tree is exposed more into the wind. Maybe it's getting bored. Yeah, there. Okay, and then this one going. Okay, here. Some straight, some lean, and some even kind of falling a bit. But it has an upward tendency because the tree always try to bounce back. Right? Okay, now crossing the river here. Okay, now going to the other side of the bank. You cannot really copy one by one. Just squint. I treat this like a natural, like a picture or a photograph. You know, you have to recreate the painting based on this. You simplify, you reorganize. But this tree root create different plan, indicate the distance of each. Okay, this one goes before this. I'm not sure. This one just like that. And this is a little conflict because I'm not sure which one is in the front. Maybe just it should have this kind of diagonal, so it goes up, I think, and goes like lighter. Okay, that's about it. All right. So some dry is okay, some wet. this got some glue in it. Anyway, so I'm going to let's just do the background wash because I try to save that stream.
Now, would you, if you weren't doing this as a demo, would you wait and let that dry a bit
Before you did the wash?
before you did the wash?
Good question. I think yes. Thank you for reminding me of
I
that.
was wondering that myself.
And I do have a
Because I've
little
gotten used to
little
letting
toy
things dry.
I can show you. It's lightweight.
Oh,
Hair dryer?
Not hair dryer. It's a craft dryer.
ah,
Maybe-
Another toy.
another tool.
Yeah, you can order it for $12 on Amazon.
Ooh. You can get little mini irons too that they use for quilting. It's not a full-size iron, it's
really?
just
Do you
maybe
have one?
that size. No.
Yeah, I
but
think
saw- I
it
saw
has
them
a
and thought
brand
it'd
or
be
something.
perfect for this.
Yeah,
You can.
because I like what the ironing does too.
Mhm.
Can you, maybe you can find the brand name, what it's called on this label. Is there
Aburo?
A
A
bunro.
bunro.
A bunro. A bunro.
a Buron? What is it called? The
Like over
model.
there's
the
a,
model.
There's a place called Remainders, and they sell all sorts of craft materials that have been donated. And people have,
Really?
emptied out their craft rooms and stuff. They donate it to Remainders, and then Remainders sells it on to a lot of teachers and people that
Yeah.
do crafts. And I'm thinking, that might be something somebody would.
Yeah, it's very quiet too.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. That's the nod mode, the quiet mode. I can pinpoint.
Yes, that's what,
Yeah.
that's what I like about this. My
Yeah.
fire is,
I can just do this part, not worry about that. Maybe just around the river. Don't worry about that. Okay, this is okay. Just let it go. Okay, I think.
That's pretty reasonable, $12.
yeah.
Yeah, I think it's less than 15 for sure.
Oh.
So maybe okay. Let me just this
Amazon
this
free
brush.
shipping.
Yeah.
This is a good brush. Just go for the background. So I'm going
I love
to.
this, the coloration in there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, on the other digital image I found online, they enhanced this background, make it too red.
Oh.
So this book is really really good. In other words, yeah, it's more it's not digitally enhanced. So, but I do like
Yeah.
the autumn color on the digital. So I'm going to compromise.
Well, it's like a
Between the two.
sandstone.
Yeah. Okay, if you look at the first image I sent a few days ago, it's more like this, right?
Yeah.
But it's more like the amber. But on this book, it has ink in it. It's muted, so I'm going to mute it a little bit,
Ink.
like that. Just mute it,
Uh-huh.
like that. Yeah. Enough. Maybe we make the foreground a little bit warmer,
Brighter, yeah.
warmer. Yeah. So you can just go like that. And again, you can add a little ink for substance.
Mhm.
Just give room for bleeding. For the bleed. So you go like that. Just. I think maybe we go side by side, like that. Just side by side.
How did he get his strokes so
Oh,
individual?
Oh, because the paper is separate.
Oh.
A good paper like a red star shine maybe.
Shows
Was-
like each stroke.
Yeah, you can leave a little gap, maybe just let it bleed to connect. I think that's a good observation.
So you don't think he did the wash first and then added the trees?
No,
Okay,
always
that's
ink.
what I would have done, but.
Yeah, I think that's opposite because if you do that, the ink would not
Oh,
be so. If you
I see
wait it
what you
dry,
mean.
probably okay.
Yeah,
But
Yeah.
it's I like the hard ink strokes, you know, not to. So we can dilute mute the ink with the. Instead of adding blue, you can add blue to mute it. You can add ink.
oh
Um,
yeah, if
yeah,
you
just
add them
like that.
together, you get a
You-
sort of a.
What I often use to mute it is a neutral tint.
Yeah, you can use that. No problem. If you want a softer edge, you can go from outside like that.
Yeah.
Just like that. So lift kind of like that. And you can leave a little bit white.
Yeah.
It's okay for breath. So so this part is maybe too wet. Okay. And it also gives the sensation
I
of a
like
wind. Yeah, wind. It's like
Yeah.
I like that.
oops, I'm going too fast, too far into the river. So I'm going to maybe narrow it. It doesn't have foreshortening, but you can if you want to make it a little bit more narrower on top. So basically, it has in and out also, right? This little
I
bit.
like how he just sort of let this rag it. He didn't
Yeah.
make it perfect.
No, it's just the careless kind of
Yeah.
style. It's a part of the naivety, you know,
Yes.
kind of like a the idea completes without stroke. Yeah. Okay. Oops, that's wrong.
It's okay.
Just okay. Hang there, and just let it bleed a little bit. I think so. It connects the kind of crossing the river here and there. I think that's enough because for my painting, it's going to be different. Yeah, I can. Okay, now I'm going to do the river. I don't think we need that. And even you don't see the stroke after it dries, you will see it because
Yeah.
this paper.
You can already see it
Yeah,
forming there.
yeah. Because this paper it record every stroke. 100 years from now, people can still feel it's still wet, you know.
Oh,
I forgot. What is this?
The
Unsized.
unsized means absorbent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Now I'm going to
That's
use
why you
a
get that
little bit
fuzzy.
blue, maybe
Yeah.
to cool it down a little bit. But we don't need to wash the color. If you blend blue with the remaining amber, you will get the gray. That's perfect for the flower.
Yeah.
For the wave. So this is gray now because I just muted it. So if you know the color theory, the blue plus brown is gray. So you got gray without using ink. Yeah. Okay. And I just hold the brush. You can turn the paper 90
I was
degrees.
going to ask you if it's easier to apply.
Yeah, but it's kind of hard to see the gravity. I'm not sure if it's a good idea, but let me try this first. So it's kind of wave. You can practice a little bit on a.
You want this piece?
Okay, let's use that. Keep using this one. So I just want to test one piece. So it's kind of S shape. It's just like that. You don't have to go fast. Okay. This is a small whistle brush. Or you can use the rat whisker brush. It would be better
I
even.
think I've got a rat whisker.
Yeah. And then you can hold the brush straight. Just kind of use your wrist. I mean your wrist and wrist. You have to level your feet. So you adjust your breath. It's reflecting your breath. You can also drag the brush if you want, using the book that you showed me earlier. Basically, it doesn't matter if you hold the brush straight or pull the brush. If you can keep the line, keep the tip of the line in the middle of the stroke, you're fine. Let me just show you again before the side stroke. Yeah, I can do it this way or this way, but you try to hold the line in the middle.
Oh, yeah.
It's also okay.
Yeah.
Depends on what do you like. Let me add a little more blue to it. So there's a tonal change, but that's caused by the dryness. So in the beginning, you do the darker ones, right? So go from the outside. I think it's too much wave. I have to gradually reduce the currents, the rabbits to the sides, I think. So it's getting lighter when the brush is dry. Yeah, maybe I should start from this middle part. It should be a little heavier, maybe. Let's do a little more. I just realized there's a tendency of the water blowing to the right, kind of like so a little bit waving to the right, not straight down. So after a while, maybe I should practice on separate paper. Your hand become automated, autopilot mode. So that's the best time you feel it's so free. You just go like that. I think the speed is very important. If you do slow, you cannot really make the currents rabbits. Yeah, you have to do it rapidly.
Yeah.
Okay, you can have some overlapping. That's okay. The sounds. Yeah, just it will dry lighter. I hope. And again, you can blot in if you feel it's too dark before it gets dry. You can lighten a little bit, or at least stop it from smearing. Yeah. I won't wash with blue because we don't use that. We don't wash sky either. That's very yeah. Okay, that's it. I think.
Good.
Yeah, I like it.
I can't wait to start. So you sort of started in the middle and then worked.
Yeah, I
out.
feel
With
it's
the
like
trees,
the
yeah.
evaporate water from the sea there.
And then you blotted some of them.
Yeah, but so sometimes the ink looks dark, but after it dries, like you have to judge by experience. But I do like that kind of steam from the water. What do you call that?
Mist.
Mist.
Oh,
Yeah.
it does look like
Yeah,
mist.
it does.
Yeah. It looks like what is
Yeah, it does look like mist.
evaporating.
And that's just from blotting it, or is it?
Part of this I brought.
The
I don't see.
hairdryer, maybe.
Oh.
No, it just because
just
the
is what
the,
it
the
is.
color is not 10. This is 10. This is probably just 5. But it looks like dark before it gets dry. So you have to test to make sure you can look at against light before it gets dry to see the true value of the ink. But it's a happy accident. I won't add more because this is perfect for the kind of mist feel. Sometimes he will use this kind of technique, like bands of fog or mist in the middle of a willow to create this atmosphere. I like that, yeah. Because we tried this, but it won't happen here. It could happen on this part also. Or you can actually create some kind of, like the grays we talked about. You can use a little bit blue to add a little hint of green, just to, you don't have to use green because this is called a light indigo and amber style, yeah. In Chinese, there's a term 浅酱, light gray, blue and amber. Yeah, it's a style. We only use 2 colors. I think in Western too, like you use neutral tone and amber or brown, right? It's similar to that. You can use just this 2 color to do a landscape. So I'll just add a little bit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just add a little bit. If the data is not enough, I usually don't use same tone. You either go lighter or darker to supplement. Yeah. So that's just add a little bit blue gray. I think that's what he did with indigo. Yeah. To harmonize it. Harmonize.
It helps make that connection.
Yeah,
among them.
connection.
Yeah, definitely improves it.
And you can soften some white you don't want. So that white is saved unpainted paper, no white. You don't have to
Right.
use white on the back or front either. Yeah, just use different stroke with the fluidity of the line for the water, and dots with the rhythm for the leaves, and the line for the woody trunk with dry brush. Yeah. Okay, you can try this one before we do the tadpoles. What do you call it? Tadpoles? Or you want to keep watching
The
me?
tadpoles.
Tadpoles. This one. Yeah. This one is similar, very similar. But I don't have.
Mine is complex.
I can make it simple for you.
Yeah, I don't mind having you do this one now.
Okay. Yeah. Let me just finish mine. Okay. So I can kind of squeeze it. Just do the top part. So I can use your suggestion. Just do the distant mountain first. See what happens. Okay.
I love that.
Yeah, you can use a little blue, gray. You can use some opaque ones to make it even more distant. Let me see. I just combine these two, so it's not very dark, right? And you can test it. Oops, I got brown in it. Oh. But I don't use this part, just the tip. See if I can get it. So this is the mountain that the mother frog is, where the mother frog is in the poem. Very light, very far, 10 miles away. And just like an M, okay? One bigger peak, one small peak, and the bottom is light. It's supposed to be water, just clean water. And just
Right.
you load the brush. So that's the distant mountain. So you want to create a sharp contrast to the distant, really far away. You want to use pure ink to do the rock on the mouth of the mouth of the stream, the waterfall, if you want. So I just use a little bit dark. Maybe it should more. It's quite few rocks there. So just load the brush with dark. I don't know if I got too much. Okay, I'm gonna you better dry it because you don't want to blur. Or you try to avoid touching this part. Just this part must overlap a little bit. So I want to make sure it dries. So this is my very handy tool. Okay, and you just do this like that. And go up like this is a piece of rock. It should make it more squarish. So this one is on the other side of the river. And the bottom is a little curve that actually cut in the currents, like that. So you're doing the water with the rock, understand? So here is the water. This is the most important, the first fall. This is the first part. So that's just cutting that shape like that. And you can use a smaller brush, I think. Let's just dry this brush. I dry the brush so it's getting lighter too. I'm just filling that gap. You can use a little water. Very carefully filling that a little bit. And leave a little white.
Yeah.
It's fine to separate the two sides. And now that I go back to dark and do this triangular shape like that. And then another rectangular shape. Actually, I'm cutting out this line, this continued curve like that, and then start another top of another. But this side, this part should be narrow. So going up a little bit. So carefully do the negative shape. That's very challenging for new beginner. You have to see the white and black same time, okay? And this one is like a question mark, not the quote mark, like a water comma. Yeah, you can do it like a comma, right? Just like comma. This is the horizontal comma. And this one is like that. And cutting that. And leave some white, very important there. That's the rock. So I'm done with this most challenging part. And just use the rest of the ink to do the bank on this side. Again, it's cutting in the river. Oh, here is the step. 2 steps, something like that. The step. The top of this. just feeling. It's not like a solo weight painter. Solo weight painting. I'll just bring it all the way to the side. Okay, now my brush is light, so I just do this bank here, like that. Going up. Sometimes he just let it blur because it's more important for the river bank shape, not to distract with that. So you can just blur this part, let it blend it in. Okay, then this going up, this cutting that that distance here there, and then just going. Okay, just feeling that. That's the left side done. Okay, this side continues. It's like the shady side on this side. Actually, it's darker on the right side. So I'm going to do. So this is not. There's a diagonal line right there. This second gate or third, I'm not sure. So this is the river gets narrow here, right? And then so that's it. And a step there. Okay, going up all the way. Actually, this block, it's in the front, yeah. And here is the river bank cutting into the water here. So large brush really helps just to, and he used a lot of water just to fill in that with mist, maybe. The feel of the moisture, like near the waterfall, you always have this kind of vapor. Okay, this one is a little bit too straight, so I'm going to change that a little bit. Just like that.
Yeah.
Create this highlight also, like a bandage. Yeah, it's just you have to take a respond. You cannot really copy everything, but you will have your own chance. Just when you see it, just grab it. Yeah. Oops. There's motion detector going on outside. Okay, I'm going to make this part maybe higher, so that creates a depth. This one, I'm not sure. It has a kind of like that. So it's like rocks falling down on this side. So we can make a kind of shortened version of this side. You just go outside the frame. And you will write here the title. So I saved that space. So it's light. So you can write the poem there. That's about it. And then I will do the tadpoles. Right? What do you call that? Little frog.
Yeah.
Tadpoles.
Tadpoles. So you can use a small brush. Just use pure ink. Either stiff or I'm using this liner, but it could be a small, soft brush, you see. And two of them right here. Closer to this. This is not, I'll make it clear, it's not a fish, I mean, tadpole. So this one is round and with a tail. Oops. This is fun. Oh, you did a very good one.
Yeah.
Okay, this one. You don't have. You cannot repeat. Yeah, just let it go.
That's fine.
Yeah, you actually, if you do both
Like
the same, it won't work.
contrast.
Yeah. So one is straight, one is curved. It's kind of balanced. And that's a rhythm also. And this one goes here. So actually, he placed them to indicate the kind of direction change. So it goes like that. Yeah, if your brush is not too wet, you can buy some time to do it slowly. So they are actually closing to the continent, not very far from.
Yeah.
Okay, but okay, let's do this. It's not very difficult, I think. So this distance, he planned this last two very low at the bottom. So we just put it on this side, maybe to increase the distance. And this, we can indicate a 4. And going straight down. Okay. And I can just use this brush, just dry the brush and then add water to dilute the ink. And keep doing this until you reach.
Do you want more paper towel?
Yeah, please. So this could be also my ink supply. I just saved it. Thank you. And can you take a look if it's still okay with?
You can't see these two.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that.
Yeah, there's more room over here that you could.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. So the water is pretty dark at the top, but it's not as dark as the frog, little frog. Okay, I'm going to do this. I think this is a little bit too open. It should be narrower, right? So I'm going to narrow from this side, maybe. I think that's okay. Just don't copy exactly. You know. So you go around the rock, just go around the rock, and then curve. So, okay. He does very detailed work. It's going up. Also here is some kind of around the kind of like a wake of this tadpoles, and this one has like a in the middle of this what do you call this cycle, yeah. So just like Tai Chi symbol, something like that, and then gradually.
Yeah, I like that.
Create this kind of. So there's a like a pool in between the
Yeah.
falls. So that's a very rhythmic rendition of this. And narrow, some narrow part really need to be narrow, so you can. Anyway, so that should be dealt with the rock, and not at this point. And you can make the rock narrow if you want. Oops, I think it's too quick for maybe. Because if it's too rapid, maybe they cannot survive. So make it more peaceful. Oh, this one has a little bit like a hint of rock underwater. So, and then we have this. So you're actually doing the steps if you feel the steps under the water, kind of going. So there's a step there. And there's like a little mouse going straight down. I really like this free long line. So you have some line kind of create this major form, and then you just fill in. So you do the contour first. If you could divide them into like a major shapes or sections, and then you can just fill in what's in the middle very easily.
Right.
So those long lines are gesture lines. You can omit all those middle ones if you don't have time. If you know, it depends on your style. So just concentrate on the main thing. Let me finish the. If I just have 5 minutes, I can stop. His painting is like this. He can stop at any point and still looks finished because every line is so sure, like very sure. Every point of each line, he could just lift the brush and stop, and it's finished. It's not something drafty, something unsure, and like a. So he does this with very certainty, very confident. Entangled, we call this entangled rope when you kind of rock formation. Hi, Helen. Okay, I can just use some ink left over on this one maybe.
Those therapies. Hurts.
Oh, yeah.
It's okay, I can see it now.
Yeah, the bottom. Okay.
Thank you.
So just keep the line kind of thin and light around the fish. Maybe on one side is okay. It's almost like a
Can really
reflection.
Get into this,
I know, yeah.
following the
And also on this side.
Very
waves.
meditative.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the painting the music.
Yeah.
That's the painting the qi, the flow of the energy of water.
I mean, look at all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really
It's
not.
very
If you
involved.
just painted the pattern of the of the wave, but not symmetrical, and
Yeah.
nothing is like patternized, but it has this kind of decorative feel. It's in between decorative painting and the free style, I think. So you look at the this, some area is very dense, so just make contrast with that. Some very straight, some very cursive. That create rhythm. And when the brush is light, you just make it, like this area is very soft, as if there are mists.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So this center area, you can make it very detailed, very.
Reminds me of doing bark on a tree
Yeah. Yeah, it's
or texture on rocks.
I think it's better avoid dark, because when you have dark, you will have a hard time to harmonize it. just be careful not to use too dark. It could be very little, just more suggestive. I think.
When you mount it, will those water lines be more prominent?
Yeah, everything would be, but it should be same as is when it's still wet. I think.
Okay.
To this, to return to the same stage as if it's still wet. Okay. I think that's about it. Yeah, you can add more. You can just if you want, but basically my intention is to copy the rhythm of that. Okay, so if you want to emphasize on the water, you must make sure the extra white is not too much. See that mountain is almost it still have the
gone.
bleed.
Yeah.
I didn't really dry enough. I think.
Yeah.
But it's still there. Even not we use poem. We use writing to point it out, pointing to emphasize on that. Then you can write the poem here because I may have more. So my composition is more squarish. It's different. Yeah. So it should be a little narrower. I hope. Yeah. And you can still cut in a little bit more. I think. Let me see. Here. This rock should be kind of combined, maybe. Yeah, I think I don't have to cut that. So that.
I don't know, I like
You
yours.
like it? Yeah, you like that. Yeah, because I have this energy on this side.
I
More,
like it.
So let me just. You like it? Oh, good.
Yeah, I do.
Good.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for that. So it's kind of hard to be more free to copy but not copy, like he said. Copy but not copy exactly. That's what he said.
Yeah.
学我者生，似我者死。How do you translate that? Learn from me. It's good to live as artist, but don't same as mine.
Reproduce.
Reproduce. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I like this. I really like the way that is. I just,
Yeah. So the happy accident is really important for a masterpiece like this. You cannot reproduce. Even himself cannot. He have to take chances sometimes. We all have to. Yeah. So I'm drawing this part especially for my writing. Yeah, let me write this. I think he wrote in class in the print, so that's good to copy. Usually he writes in cursive style or running style sometimes.
what does the poem say?
I like the haiku style,
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
the cursive style. Maybe I do that. I myself like cursive style. Yeah. I think it's more flow with the go up and down that kind of thing. Yeah. I think it's dry. Now I'm going to write. You have to use dark ink to write on this line. Yeah. A little bit more. Maybe one or two. Yeah, good enough. Okay, let me just try that. So let me practice one time. Okay, 1, 2,
can almost hear the water.
I know.
Yeah,
In this little
Watson.
stream or, I don't know what you would call it.
Okay.
I can hear it.
Frog, croaking, right? Is that croak? Or sound, singing, or what, it depends on what kind of sound. 10 miles,
Wow.
10 miles. Two means coming out of. San. There's a stream, mountain stream.
Okay, mountain stream.
Yeah. So the mountain is there, 10 miles from there.
there.
We can hear the sound of the frog croaking out of 10 miles. That's the poetic inspiration. Actually, this was a given title, a commission by a very famous novelist, writer, Lao She. You know Lao She, he's a Pekingese writer. He gave this title to the artist, paid him to do this. Actually, many years, I think recently, in the archive of the Qi Baishi Museum, they found this letter, commission letter. Actually, I have that letter on my phone, actually. It has a note next to the title saying, he described this painting before the artist, yeah. He said, paint with the baby, or the tadpoles without the frog swimming in the stream, and he even specified in a cold color theme. You know, he doesn't like bright color, I guess. So no, it's just a little bit color. Yeah.
I think frogs lay their eggs and then they leave, and then
Yeah.
the
Right.
tadpoles,
Yeah.
the tadpoles are on their own.
Okay. We just write. Sen.
I was a kid, we used to collect tadpoles.
See, I can usually I write a line on top line. In haiku, we can go up and down. So I basically follow this rock shape. So I just put emphasis on this rock.
I had a tank in my classroom, and I would buy the big bullfrog tadpoles.
Oh,
The
yeah,
head, like this.
really big.
And they would metamorphose in the
Okay.
classroom.
And you can actually
Yeah.
sign on this corner. So that gives more, the people would lead the people's eye
Right.
jumping left and right. Yeah. And this also stops the viewer's eye from going out. So it pushes back. So calligraphy is a part of the composition, especially poetic. Not just the content, the form, the writing itself is important. So I would say the year, I attribute respect to Qi Baishi or something like that. What do you call this? 致敬, right? 致敬 Qi Baishi.
Dedicated to?
Dedicate, tribute to.
Tribute to.
Yeah. Or respect to. Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
致敬 Qi Baishi. my name and the year of the rabbit. Yeah. This is the year of the rabbit. We talked about that, the 60-year cycle. Okay, now the seal.
I know this artist.
This painting is become a hit after the writer showed it to his guests in his home, and become so famous that they own. It was collected by the National Museum.
That's
Yeah,
good.
Yeah. Okay, that's a seal. That's the adaptation from this long strip into a more squash one. You can also put a red, like a mood seal there too. I don't have it here, but sometimes we do that, so it's kind of diagonal.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can add my.
I like yours better,
Long
Henry.
Thank you. Oh, that's a compliment.
Well, now maybe in the original it's not so contrasty,
Uh-huh.
but I like that you can see more texture in your rocks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it reminded me another painting I did, like the koi fish jumping out of the dragon gate. That kind of they're supposed to like a quantity leap,
wow.
content leap.
I love koi.
It's it symbolizes you pass the examination to enter college or to become an official candidate.
Yeah.
It's the analogy of that jump, content jump in life. So this is a kind of like that. Yeah.
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 Going into this greater
The
sea
ocean,
of life.
yeah,
Of
yeah,
a big
yeah.
lake.
'Cause they're going down though.
Right,
The fish going up, yeah,
Yeah.
against the current. Anyway,
They're going down to feed the
to
fish.
feed the fish, to become more,
The koi are gonna eat.
yeah.
Oh,
the-
no.
Everybody has to eat.
I can't wait to get that book.
Oh yeah, it will be 1 month from
Okay.
now maybe. I hope. I have to use the surface, not the
Yeah, right.
because it's too expensive with air. It's 1 pound. It's much more cost to the ship. The cost of the book.
So
Anyway.
how long does it, if you order it and it's surface instead of air, can you order it surface or do you have to order it air?
Oh, I have like a freight company I work with.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. You have to go through the customs. It
Yeah,
takes time.
yeah.
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 They still have this
Couple of
20%, 20% the trade war charge.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I know, I ordered a book from Denmark and the shipping cost more than the book,
Yeah, that's very
but I
common.
wanted it.
Yes, very common. Just like a frame. Yeah.
It's great.
It is
That-
wonderful.
that-
It's so,
That's doable, I think, for the average person.
Okay. So yeah, you can take a picture of this, so
Yeah,
you don't
I
have
would
to
like
do your composition adaptation. Let me turn off the light so you can.
Okay.
I mean, turn off the camera. Thank you for watching, everybody. We'll see you next week.
I sent you an email last night. Did you get it?
Yeah, yeah.
It's